21st January 2018. I think it's the 21st. Boy, every time I've had to restart, I get this sort of bout of anxiety. So I get anxious, and especially this one because it's 3 months now, just over 3 months. My schedule now has me finishing right at the end of April, which is not, you wouldn't want to be finishing much after that, because you're into May and you're into some changeable weather and extreme weather down in that South Island, deep southern section. I have prepared my food parcel to myself for when I arrive in Wellington. It contains the packages of food that I have packed for myself to last me 9 days at a time for 4 or 5 of the long sections in the South Island through the mountains. And for tomorrow, phone the surgeon, David Maralese, tomorrow morning to see if he can give me the result of the biopsy, because they are through, but I need to get them from him. And then board the bus to Tikwiti, stay with James and Sharon, wonderful James and Sharon, who I stayed with raising their grandson Phoenix. And it gave me the most tangible insight that you can have into the reality of grandparents raising grandchildren, who are the cause, of course, that I'm supporting as I do Te Araroa. But it's interesting because this is about my third kind of layup, sons' marriages, Christmas, that sort of thing. Small operation to remove a small cluster of cancer cells from my bladder, and now back on there. And it's got a crap load of stuff still to do. Taking off on day 2, and this is my welcome. I got a paddock full of angry bulls. Man, I've never actually seen bulls in kind of aggro mode. Fortunately, there's a fence between me and them. There's that fella there that's making all the noise. There's a herd of them following me along the fence, and there's a bit of the old mooing going on, but this fella's, he's running alongside. It almost seems like he'd be willing to bloody try and charge the fence. Got another couple of the big fellas up here. Crikey dick. I'm going to walk on a gravel road for 36 kilometres today. Take it easy, man. No, doesn't seem to be able to have sense talked into him. Oh yeah, you too, eh? Yeah, come on, bring it on. Okay, first I'll deal with that one, then I'll come to you. Don't you lift your hoof at me. Look, I can do that. See? Yeah. Gave him a little fright, actually. That was as if it was really quite a full-on feeling. And now I know where the term bully comes from. They were bloody bullies, they were. There was a pack of them.
I live here on the Tidor farm. My dad is the owner, is a worker here, and I work on a dairy farm, a newly converted dairy farm just down the road, just out of Benidorm. And yeah, I'm a farm assistant on the farm, so yeah, no, it's good work.
So here in Mangaaweka, still where I'm having my cup of tea, much appreciated cup of tea, talking away, met Daphne, Freedom and Letitia, and in chatting, Letitia's just told me how she's a farm worker. And so and what age are you?
17 going on.
You said like, oh, well, you got to get a job, you had to get a job and stuff. So that would be one of the things that faces people in the rural areas of New Zealand, like having you turn 17, and then what were your other prospects if you didn't get a job locally?
Probably study farming. Yeah, or otherwise just go find another job somewhere else.
But you love farming, like, because you brought up here on the dry stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Hey. And what sort of role do you want to see yourself in eventually?
Yeah, manager status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running the trust.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully.
So which iwi is this?
Ngāti Maniapoto.
Oh, okay.
Ngāti Ririahu, yeah.
Right, yeah. So we're still in King Country,
Yeah,
hey?
still in the King
all
Country.
Yeah, I forget that King Country comes this far over to the central North Island. Yeah. So this is we're at Mangaoweka, and I'm heading to Puriora Forest headquarters to start the trek into Taumaranui for the next 4 days. I'm talking to Daphne, Letitia, and Freedom, and what's Bubba's name?
Nahiri.
Nahiri. Nice.
Yeah.
To do with the forest.
Yeah.
Right. So, are you aware that you're known as trail angels?
No, not at all.
Okay, so people who help out people who I'm talking loud because the microphone's a little. Help out people who are walking Tāroa Trail. Yeah. They're known as trail angels.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of people calling in for water.
Yep.
And
all over the world.
Yeah.
There's a few people that stay for.
Oh yeah.
For
Yeah.
Is that right? Pitch a tent.
Yeah. Or you go down to the sheriff's quarters. We've got a sheriff's quarters just around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh man, you really are trail angels. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So cool. Hey, well, thank you very much. I'm about to enjoy a cup of tea, and for sharing the knowledge with me that I've only got about 1.5 kilometres to go on this gravel road. Whew. Cheers. All right, hey, well, all the best. I better let you get back to work.
No,
Thanks for the cup of tea.
Yes, yes.
Yet another one of these amazing twists and turns of Tāroa. I'm in the middle of what's this district in? I'm sitting here with Dave Marshall, and so what's this area known as?
This area is Purapura Flats. So there's been old logging sites. There were 27 mills all through this area.
Wow!
Where they milled native timber.
So all the native forests you can see is all regenerated.
Yeah, what's happened here, they've cut, years and years ago, they cut all the native trees and that down through this area. Then it's been planted out in pine trees. That's now been cut, and now we're just reverting back to native bush. Cool.
So this, because what's happened is I got a message from a bloke, Bruce Monsell, and he said, come into Timber Trail Lodge. So I've ended up here at Timber Trail Lodge. I feel like a draft dodger, you know. I'm in the lap of luxury in the middle of the forest and everything. There's this amazing lodge. How long's it been here?
It opened in February 2017.
And what it's indicative of is this amazing new wave of tourism and adventure tourism that's happening in New Zealand, eh? Like, so Dave, you're heavily involved in this kind of stuff, aren't you? What's your take on how it's all the changing face of tourism, or this aspect of tourism in New Zealand?
Yeah, well, obviously tourism's on the rise and has been for quite some time now in New Zealand. I think what we're doing here, it's about regional development. So a lot of the tourists that come over, and they always head to those traditional areas. So you've got, Rotorua, you've got the Taupo, and then you've got Fiordland, all those sort of areas. But now opening up these cycleways and that sort of thing, we're taking it out to the regions.
Because it's no small undertaking, eh? Like, this is a substantial investment and project that's gone on here.
Yeah, well, the trail itself is almost promotes itself now within New Zealand. Like, it's popular, and mountain biking's become so popular now within New Zealand that people go looking for the trails. Yeah, so building the lodge here now, we would be looking to just lift our profile and say, yeah, the trail's there, it's a fantastic ride. We've now got this fantastic lodge, and we're sitting right in the middle, and we break that ride into 2 perfect ride days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because we just waved off a family couple with Kiwi couple with their grandson, which is just brilliant to see them riding off, and then there's an American woman here with her granddaughter or daughter, is it? And they've decided no, that was hard enough on day one, so they're able to have a bit of luxury here, comfort, and they've experienced a bit of this. So you do stuff down south as well, don't you? Tell us about the lifestyle you've carved out for yourself. You sound like you have kind of pretty perfect situation going on.
Yeah. So what my wife and I decided a few years ago, we when our youngest son turned 18, we decided to leave home, and we now travel around. So we travel around now, and we work in lodges and that sort of thing. So we've worked up on the Rootburn Falls Lodge for ultimate hikes, and we spent a couple of seasons working there. We've been down into Preservation Inlet, which is probably the remotest part of Fiordland, and we've looked after a lodge down in there. And now we're up here also, obviously getting this lodge up and running, and that big change to our lifestyle. So we tend to work pretty hard through the summers in the lodge, and then we take our winters off and go and play a bit.
And to you, play means doing things like bloody te aroa. So you've actually done te aroa, and tell me about some of the kilometre. What's the longest day you've done?
I think our longest day, we were up around 54, 55 Ks for a big day.
Out of here.
Yeah, so we put in big days, yeah. So when we decided we were going to walk te aroa, we actually decided mainly that we were walking Cape Reinga to Bluff. Then when we heard about te aroa and how they've mapped out a trail, we used a lot of te aroa, but we also did a lot of our own walking and our own routes. Yeah, but our main criteria for us was we wanted to hold hand on heart and say we've walked the length of the country. So we set a couple of rules around that, and that was we don't get in a vehicle, and we don't give up, bar something fairly serious. And that's it really, and we persevered and walked it.
Oh, you're putting me to shame. You're putting me to shame.
Yeah, it's a long way. I'll take my hat off to anyone who walks that distance. It's huge.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to start a movement, David, so you might be able to become the president of this movement. I reckon any foreigner who comes to New Zealand and walks te aroa gets automatic residency.
Yeah.
The sort of people we'd like to have in this country. Yeah. Actually, anything that you would say to the powers that be around the tourism industry in this country in terms of where it's heading? Or
the regional development is a big one for us. I'd like to see some of the numbers coming away from those traditional areas like Fiordland and again Queenstown, Wanaka, and Abel Tasman, all those sort of places in the Heapy. Just start spreading that load and taking it out to the regions.
Yeah, are they getting overtaxed, those areas? You reckon?
I think there's a lot of pressure on the environment in those areas with those numbers going through. So it'd be nice, again, to just spread that load. The other thing it does with regional development, it's not only good for the environment, it's good for the location here and the people of this location. Like we employ 2 young local ladies that come and work for us here. We've got another girl working for us here. She's been away out of this area for 12 years, and we've now encouraged her back, and she's got huge skills in this industry, and now she's got a place that she can bring those skills back here and share that with other people in this community as well. So I think that's pretty important. But with things like this happening, hopefully we can breed through a whole new culture and get some traction.
Cool. Oh, well done, and thank you, man.
Yep, thank you.
Cheers.